Media Day was Monday and we are into training camp. I'm going to talk a little bit about what was said and the takeout parts. I'm not going to get too much into the reads and training camp so far right after this.
It's time to see red.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another Chicago Bulls Chat with See Red UK. I'm your host, Neill, and this is where sleep is optional, but loving the Bulls isn't. Okay, so Media Day was on Monday. We're now on Friday here, where I am anyway. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the little takeouts very quickly, just going to go over it. I'm sure a lot of it has been discussed already, so I'm not going to get too deep in amongst the weeds, but I am going to talk a little bit about some of the standout points. So on Media Day, you know full well that's the day at which we kind of feel like that's the kickoff for the season. We're getting straight into training camp after Media Day. And then, of course, you've got the preseason games, which are starting very, very soon. So the first people to speak for Media Day were the usual. The front office was represented by AK, and Billy Donovan was sitting beside him. So AK was quizzed and didn't mention a target goal or set a bar for the upcoming season, which was a little disappointing because, you know, especially with having got his contract, you'd expect him to hold himself that little bit accountable for what he expects from this team going forward and what he's put together in the off season. But all the focus was put on physicality. Physicality was definitely the buzzword for the whole day. Everybody that seemed to speak on behalf of the Chicago Bulls mentioned bringing more physicality. They talked about how the Miami Heat were able to muscle them out of it. And from watching the remainder of the playoffs, it was a much more physical playoffs than we've seen in many, many years. So I guess that's where they decided to put all the focus in going into this season, that they can still play with fast pace and they can still get up all the shots, but making sure that they play with a little bit more physical prowess going in deep towards the rim. And also, and the most important factor is to be more physical on defense. Bearing that in mind, the big concentration point for defense is the fact that the Bulls have brought in Isaac Okoro to kind of be, I suppose, set that new ethos within the team of being physical on defense and pushing hard, working hard. He's a great on-ball defender. He normally defends the best player in the team that they're playing against. So Billy praised him for what he brings and hopes that he's going to create a mindset within the team for playing hard defensively and to focus on taking charges. He also mentioned that he wants to focus on deflections defensively to create fast break opportunities, which will fit in and align well with their fast pace that they want to play. Or should I say continue to play, because they played that way last season. And towards the back half of the season, when everything started to kind of come together a little bit, that fast pace was definitely working. Now, another thing he mentioned as well was if you're going to be playing at that kind of level of speed and playing that much high tempo basketball, that the spread of players is going to have to be extended slightly, and was at the end of last season anyway, and it's something that he's going to have to concentrate more on. We know in the past that in previous seasons Billy has concentrated an awful lot on maybe a 7 or 8 man rotation. Now we're talking about maybe a 9, 10, possibly even more, just to keep fresh legs, just to keep the pressure on the opposition and keep pressing them with that high pace play, and hopefully this new thing of physicality. So after that, Josh Giddey came and spoke. We all know how that was going to go. It was always going to be about his contract. He did try to kind of glide past it a little bit. He said he's happy to be in Chicago. He's really glad that he's got a 4-year deal done. He now has that kind of 4-year focus for himself. He doesn't have to worry about a new contract, and that he was really happy to be back in Chicago. It's where he wanted to be. It's where the Bulls wanted to have him. They all knew this. It was all just a matter of getting the deal done. And he said he had a lot of confidence that his agent was able to do that and was going to do that for him. And look, I've talked about this at length already. I think it was the ideal deal that was done in regards to right down the middle. 25 million was, you know, a best case scenario for both sides, and it kind of came across that he felt that way too. He mentioned that he wants to focus on his defense also, but he also said that, you know, they don't have that big defensive I suppose, team. So it would have to be defense by committee and work on improving himself in order to become a part of that. He wants to kind of carve out sort of a leader type role for himself, even though he said he is kind of a quiet guy. He wants to be a little bit more vocal. And he also emphasized that buzzword, the need for more physicality. Next up was Matas Buzelis. And Matas Buzelis for me now was probably the one I was most interested to hear from. And he didn't disappoint. Year 2 Matas is definitely locked and loaded. And he had the quote of the day. He said, the way I look at it is this: if someone has already done it, I can do it too. And if no one has done it, I'm going to be the first to do it. Now, you got to love that. I mean, I when he said that, I nearly jumped off the couch and went, yeah. I mean, this is great stuff. It's real quotable. You can say it again and again, and it's something that's definitely going to be revisited, especially if he starts living up to the hype. And I loved it. I love his mentality. I love his mindset. He said he also wants to focus on playing hard defensively. He wants to be coached and treated like he's a defensive player of the year. Call him out, be hard on him. And he said that goes from the coaches to the players to the fans and the media. He wants all of it. He wants all the pressure. He has taken it all and put it firmly on his own shoulders and said, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want. This is how I want to be treated. And I'm going to flourish as a result of that. He also said that he set his lofty sights, his own personal goals, on being the most improved player. Now, whether he gets there or not, if he's even in that conversation, I'm going to be really, really impressed and happy. Year 2, most improved player, I love it. And to say something like that, it does harken back a little bit to Derrick Rose saying, why can't I be MVP? Well, why can't Matas be MIP? I definitely think he has the tools, the capability, and, as I keep saying, the mindset to do this. Matas is definitely the most exciting thing on this Bulls team for me at the moment, and I am definitely looking forward to seeing what he brings in year 2. Vooch also came out, didn't really have a whole lot new information to bring to us or too much more to say. He says he's happy to be back and to be a mentor for the young guys. Had a little bit of a joke about still feeling young himself. And look, whatever way it pans out for Vooch, you're going to get solid numbers out of Vooch. He seems to be someone that the team itself love having around. He can spread the game for us, being able to shoot the three and play inside. So, look, Vooch is never a negative to have on this team. Whether he's the best option is a different story. That's a different conversation. But, look, Vooch is here for now, and he seems happy enough or locked in enough to be here. So, let's see how it pans out. But people got to stop getting off Vooch's ass, man. He's a player. He's a baller. He knows what he's doing. He is our vet now. He is our main vet on the team. I mean, you got the likes of Kobe White, and Patrick Williams, who've been there. There are 3 longest tenured players as Bulls now. But right now, we'll stick with Vooch being the mentor in that locker room for now. Kobe White then also came out and had a few things to say. The biggest thing that he had to say, which was a bit of a revelation, really, it came out at this point. It hadn't really been seen or said previously to Media Day, and that is that he has been carrying a calf strain through the back end of the summer. And as a result of this, he's going to be limited in training camp. And he said, we'll see how it goes leading up to and into preseason. So we may not see any Kobe White minutes, realistically speaking, in preseason. They may very well just play the precautionary tale with him and have him sit out altogether. He is training, but limited as far as I'm aware. So we'll see how that goes. The end of last season was definitely one of those focal points for calf injuries leading to more serious Achilles tears. So I'm sure that the Bulls medical team are very well aware of that. I'm sure Kobe is well aware of that himself. He did mention it. So let's hope that they play this the right way and keep him nice and safe going forward. He also mentioned the chemistry between himself and Josh and sung Josh's praises for being able to see passes that no one else sees. And he kind of alluded to something that I've mentioned in the past, that it took himself and Josh a little while to kind of find each other, both on the floor and off the floor. And it seems that that's something that grew between them and is there now. And from what Kobe was saying, it seems to be something that he's happy about. So he's looking forward to stepping up and to be a leader for this team. So the way things are going, we're going to end up with a few leaders for this team. And if that works, I'll take it. Iodosumu, he also had a few words to say, said the shoulder feels great and he really misses basketball. Can't wait to get back playing. He also mentioned the physicality side of things and how he wants to play physical. And he wants to provide what he can on both sides of the ball to help the team win. So look, there wasn't any huge takeaways apart from this injury to Kobe, the great quote from Maras, and of course, this physicality that seems to be the focus. But look, we'll see how that goes going forward. I definitely agree. I think this team needs to be a little bit more physical. So we shall see how it all ends up panning out. So we've had a few days of training camp now, and there's been a few little things leaking out from it. So the first thing is that Patrick Williams has tweaked his ankle at the start of training camp. However, he did return that same day on a stationary bike and was expected to return to full training, I believe, yesterday. But he seems okay. I think it's more precautionary than anything else. But when I first heard this, I was like, oh no, here we go. Not that it's really going to matter too much if P. Will is on the bench. But look, he does bring a certain level of physicality, and if we can finally bring that out of P. Will, or if he can find a way to bring it out of himself, more importantly, Patrick Williams still has all the potential in the world. It's just never ever brought out of him, and maybe year 6 is the year for him to do it. Don't hold your breaths, but let's wait and see. Okoro apparently has been impressive so far. He seems to have gelled really well with the team. He's already taken charges on the first day. And the reaction, if you've seen the video, the reaction is really, really great from the rest of the team. They will run over to him and, you'd swear he just scored a game-winning shot, which is great to see. That kind of chemistry with him already is brilliant. And that appreciation for taking a charge and playing physical defense that way is great. He also had a few words to say himself the other day, and he said that, I actually loved the way he started the conversation was, man, they're fast. They're an athletic young team, and he looks forward to bringing the physicality into the group. So it seems like everybody's aligned that way, which is great. Billy Donovan on that also says that the team has taken more charges this week so far than in all 82 games of the season last year. Trey Jones had a few words to say yesterday. Said he's basically happy to be back with the Bulls. He let his agent do all the work, and he's glad to be here. And Noah Essengay, so far from what I've seen, the footage so far, and from what he had to say, that he is enjoying training camp and he just loves the energy that seems to be within this team. So look, there's a lot of buzzwords. There's a lot of the same sort of regurgitated stuff that you would expect to hear from professional athletes and the Chicago Bulls. But look, physicality seems to be the thing. Let's get physical. Let's see how it goes. Do you think the Bulls are going to be more physical this year? Do you think it's going to work for them? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you give a like and a subscribe while you're at it, if you don't already. And I will be back soon to talk a little bit more about what we've got upcoming in the preseason games. Until next time, take care of yourselves. See red, bleed red. Go Bulls.